Hey guys, welcome back to carbuyer.com.sg. We're looking at the new Audi RS4. So if you've always wondered what's the deal with Audi and fast wagons, what's so special about them, we're going to tell you today in 3 major points. Okay, so Audi RS4 Avant, this is the facelift model, just like the normal A4 it's based on. It's been facelifted this year. But let's focus on the Audi RS Sport part, Audi Sport part. Okay, so what is the deal with Audi and fast wagons? Well, it's kind of Audi Sport's thing. Audi Sport is of course the high performance arm of Audi, just like AMG is with Mercedes and BMW M is with BMW. So Audi Sport made its first wagon, and actually its very first car was the RS2 way back in 1994. And that car was kind of co-made with Porsche, turned out to be a surprising success. But in the ensuing years, there's been a whole line of powerful, cool wagons from Audi, and one that stands out for us is the RS6, the previous gen RS6, and that one had a Lamborghini derived V10 under the bonnet and twin turbochargers, 570 horsepower. We remember that this was one of the few cars that could hit almost 200 kilometers at the end of Sepang's front straight, and that was about 10 years ago. It was pretty amazing. But it couldn't stop very well because it was really heavy too. Although the V10 was exciting and very, very powerful, this beat out all the other competitors at the time. And in the previous RS4, there was a 4.2 litre V8. We had a lot of fun in that on Sepang again. In pouring rain, you could drive circles around everybody else because of quattro all-wheel drive, of course. But to get back to the subject at hand, this is the facelifted RS4 Avant for 2020. And honestly, the front end, not much of a difference. You can see how this car is wider than the normal car. It's 60 millimeters wider. That's quite a bit. Those bulging fender fender bulges. So eloquent today, I'm sorry. LED lights, front splitter, around the side. Oh, we also have this Quattro throwback, also on the A1 Sportback. The sculpted lines, very handsome car this. You can see the bulge again. Bulge, like putting socks in your pants before a dance. And we have the rear end, of course, which is the fun part of any Avant. Very wide, very dynamic. 20-inch wheels, of course, with RS calipers. Show you in front as well. 20-inch wheels with RS calipers. Da-da-da. And at the back, you notice that the dual exhausts are big and oval. So that's a proper RS car, kind of a hallmark. The S cars have quad tailpipes. Okay, this is the cockpit of the RS4 Avant. And one of the things that Audi wagons have always been over the years is the fact that they're really easy to drive, and they're quite easy to drive fast. Now this car has a 2.9 litre bi-turbo V6 engine, 450 horsepower, 0 to 104.1 seconds, all-wheel drive, of course, quattro. But that is fast, not super fast, and I think it's just the right balance for daily life. Once you get into the high 500s and above, you have a lot of trouble controlling the car in a straight line, as we saw with the previous Gen M5 and even the current M5. And that's why cars like that, as well as the E63 AMG, have all gone all-wheel drive, because you simply can't keep the car straight if you're not some kind of magically gifted Lewis Hamilton sort. Okay, so Audi wagons, fast wagons, RS wagons have always been easy to drive fast. Well, as you can see from the G meter, that wasn't me. That was whoever drove this car, which wasn't me. Okay, so perforated leather steering wheel, very nice touch. This is new metal. And another point about the easiness to drive here is a new button on the steering wheel. That's the RS mode. So that wasn't there before. And if I press it, kind of like the M button, the sport display comes out, and the preset dynamic settings also come out. So there's RS1 mode. You can see the RS1 there. Press again, RS2. And how do you set those settings? You set them through here, the Audi Drive Select menu. So RS1, drive system, that is the gear shifts and the engine, steering, engine sound, quattro, sport diff. So sport diff gives you a bit more of the rotation around the corner of the outer wheel, easy to go around the corner faster. Okay, so all the systems work together to make the RS4 Avant, this one, a really nice car to drive quickly. And it's in contrast to other cars like BMW M's and AMGs, So I personally wouldn't be very comfortable driving one of those cars fast on a road, especially if they were rear-wheel drive, had more than 400 horsepower with the ESP off. Now that isn't such a problem with the Audi, because with these big cars, a lot of power to the rear wheels, a lot of sudden oversteer, and even more problems when you lift off and everything goes to hell in the middle of the corner. Never had such a problem with RS cars in general, and especially the RS wagons. Maybe the weight on the front makes it a bit more planted, I don't know. They just feel really, really planted. Case in point, we drove the previous RS4 in Sepang in pouring rain, and you know, it was really quite comfortable. We were still going rather quickly and having a lot of fun. Never had any danger of spinning out or putting it into a wall or any of that thing. So very sure-footed. And the last point I want to make about Audi RS wagons is the fact that they're really good at doing normal stuff pretty well. Now, unlike some cars that always want to go fast and always like kill, destroy, the C63 AMG Coupe was a bit like that, and it was a very speed-hungry beast. Couldn't drive it slowly. The suspension was like, engine's always gimme, and that was a bit stressful to drive every day. But obviously the RS Avant, RS4 Avant is a wagon, so that's always good. 1,450 liters in total, which is more than a lot of SUVs if you flip the seats down. And yeah, but the nature of the cars themselves, RS has always been a bit more understated, not so in your face, although that is a little bit different with this car. The shifts are a bit noisier, a bit more of a oomph in the shifts. This car has a sport exhaust, which the previous facelift car didn't come with, and it sounds a lot better. Now, if you're gonna get a high-performance German car, you wanna hear it sometimes. So these are worthwhile additions. But of course, the cool thing about cars like this is that at the press of a button, there you go from, you hear that? From monster to pussycat again, and it's got 450 horsepower, but it's very civilized day-to-day, 8-speed automatic. And the fixed rate suspension is definitely on the sporty side, but it's never, it's never thrashy. It's stiff, yes, but it's not like some SUVs are. So those are 3 reasons why we think Audi's RS wagons are cool. Number 1, they got a lot of heritage and cool history. Number 2, they're easy to drive fast. Number 3, they're easy to drive full stop. And also one last minor point that isn't quite related to the first 3 is the fact that obviously Audi RS cars aren't quite as popular as BMW M or Mercedes-AMG models. There's a little bit of a cult club, or if you see one on the road, you see like, oh, I see you're a man of culture as well.
気づきましたか。陸殿も好き者にござるな。
Kind of effect going on. So if you thought this video was nice and enjoyable and informative, please like it, subscribe to kabai.com.sg. If you didn't like it, just keep quiet and visit the website anyway. See ya!